We have seen the unemployment rate has risen slightly higher. It's up to 4.6% from 4.5%. Our business editor, Ross Greenwood, has been following developments. He joins us now. Ross, just take us through the key points from those labour force figures. How did they match with expectations?
Yeah, well, actually, they were a bit better than expected. The forecast unemployment rate was 4.8%. It's come in at 4.6%. As you say, last month, 4.5%, which was the best unemployment rate Australia has seen in 12 and a half years. But again, it very much depends on the state story and the lockdown story that's taken place during the course of this month. And so as you go through these numbers, you start to see, again, when people have dropped out of the workforce, the so-called participation rate has a significant impact on what this final number has been. So though, an unemployment rate with a 4 in front of it is obviously very, very healthy, and every state has got that apart from South Australia right now, and it's close. The truth of the matter is across the states and across the nation, it's different depending on where you are. So the unemployment rate, 4.6%, we've discussed. The number of jobs lost during the month of September was 138,000. But of those jobs lost, the vast majority of them were part-time jobs, and most of those, some 122,000 of them, were in Victoria. As I indicated, the participation rate, so in other words, the number of people actively in the workplace, that's dropped again to 64.5%. Now, the interesting side of this is that the number of hours worked has increased by 15 million hours, and the story here is about Queensland. The number of people in work in Queensland is improving rapidly there, and that means also the amount of work that's in Queensland is increasing as well.
And Ross, when you look at those lockdown states where people are still working, it seems like they're working less due to the lockdown, presumably?
Oh, that's absolutely true. And so both in Victoria and New South Wales, where the lockdowns have hit hardest, that's where you see it. Now, I've got a graphic just to show you just the impact of these lockdowns on these states and just, the way in which people are affected. So this is almost people who, again, are dropping out of the workforce for various reasons. There could be, say, for example, annual holidays. These are people with no hours worked. In some cases, people have chosen to remain attached to their employer, but they've effectively taken time in lieu or time without wages or whatever it might be. And so there's different circumstances and the various states show it. But what it does also show that whenever you have, say, for example, a lockdown in any given city or state, the number of people who will try and take time in lieu or try and take, holidays to try and really stave off, if you like, the impact of losing connection with their employer does increase. We also know, of course, that when states open, there is a significant rebound in the number of people who are re-employed. That also is a very big part of the economic growth recovery story in Australia. And this is one of the reasons why employers have tried to do whatever they can to remain connected with their employees, mainly because otherwise there could be a skills shortage that hurts that business when it reopens.